Hey guys, we're here looking at Pokemon Puzzle Challenge. We'll be doing a retrospective, basically taking a quick-ish look through the game, the main modes. It's a puzzle-style game, and it's got a Pokemon twist to it. It was originally released as Tetris Attack or Panel de Pon, depending on what country you're in. The mode we're specifically going to be looking at is Challenge Mode, which is basically akin to going through the Gym Leader Challenge in a regular Pokemon game. And Professor Elm will be telling us that normal mode is harder than easier, which is really good because I didn't know that. Okay, so one little twist is that you get to choose a Pokemon. It doesn't really seem to have any sort of impact. And first off, we'll be versing Faulkner, the bird user. Back in the day, I thought he was a pretty swag-looking guy with his sweet hairstyle, and he was always rocking a bird Pokemon in his arm. But now I'm going to be giving him the business. Okay, if you can't tell how the game works, you're blind. Also, it's pretty simple. You basically need to match up any of the puzzle pieces with 3 or more. On the right side of the screen, we see the 2 Pokemon who attack each other. I'm rocking a Chikorita because bird types are weak against grass types are weak against birds, and I'm, you know, a risk seeker like that. To the left of Pidgey, we see his health bar, and every time I do a combo, there was a 7 hit, it deals damage to the life. Being normal mode, I killed him pretty quickly. Damn right, you need to train harder. Azalea Gem, Bugsy. So it's a chick who has a thing for bugs. You know, fire's good against bug types, so of course I'll be rocking my main man Totodile. What's up? So that was an 8 times. 8 times is basically a pretty strong hit, considering you can tell how much damage it did to him. The minimum you can do is 3, which will deal little to no damage to the other Pokemon. And usually you only use those if you want to get rid of them quickly. If you can get as big as a 10 times, that deals a significant amount of damage to the opponent. And what you saw just there is when you take out a couple of puzzle pieces, and the ones that fall as a result give you a combo, which also does damage, and you can get 3, 4, 5, 6 times combos, and the more you get in a row, basically the more damage you do. And Totodile just gave Kakuna the business. And Kakuna was really annoying in older games, because if you caught a Kakuna straight up, he wouldn't have tackle or scratch. Pretty sure it's tackle. And then you couldn't, you know, fight with it, and you'd have to wait and train with other Pokemon to evolve it into Beedrill. It was almost equally as useless, so either way you're pretty much boned. Goldenrod Gem, Whitney, the normal type Pokemon user. And I haven't used Cyndaquil yet, so I think I'll rock Cyndaquil. Bit of a rant here. This is possibly the most annoying gym leader in the entire Pokemon series. When you'd first versed her, she rocked a Miltank who would just sit there spamming heal on you all day. And because it was a normal type, and there was no real fighting types available at that point in the game, you couldn't, you know, get super effective on it. So basically you just had to sit there for ages before you could slowly chip that Miltank down. To top it off, Whitney also had the most bitchiest personality of any of the gym leaders, to the point where she wouldn't give you your team or gym badge. One of her subordinate trainers had to. And look, we can see a little crappy attitude here. Someone needs to get laid. Echo-cheek Jim, Morty, the ghost dude. I haven't used Pikachu yet, so I'll rock Pikachu. Nothing much to say about Morty. He's got a Ghastly. Pretty sweet Pokemon, evolves into Gengar, which is pretty badass back in the day. Only problem with that is you had to trade your Haunter to get Gengar, and if you didn't have a link cable, then that wasn't possible. Of course, if you were one of those cool kids who had a link cable and brought it to school every day, which I was, then you could, you know, trade with everyone. Oh, missed out on a sweet 5 times there, but I got one there, it's all good. And back in the day, to be even more badass, we used to bring link cables and also the battery packs, so we could play in the library without ever having to worry about batteries running out. We'd just sort of plug into the outputs there and just sit all lunchtime and interval. Sorry, playtime. We used to sit there all playtime and just jamming Pokemon. It was a good playtime. Oh, if it wasn't self-explanatory, those little bricks, if they reach to the top, you lose. I know, with the way I'm playing, you think it would never happen, and it doesn't. A cool little thing about this game is, if you complete certain challenges, then you can verse wild trainers, and you can actually get, you get given their Pokemon afterwards, which is how I got that Pikachu. Yay! The gym leader of Steel type, who cares after sick Pokemon and you have to go help her in the lighthouse. Oh, bit of hesitation there, bit of performance anxiety. If you notice that the pieces are starting to sort of jump up quickly, it's because you can manually increase the speed at which the piece is raised by pressing the B button. Generally speaking, you don't want it to reach the top, but the longer the game goes on for, the faster it reaches the top, so you manually bring it up, which actually helps you because you can get larger combos and kill the opponent faster. Sweet 6 times like that, what's up? Hard to say good luck. Damn, imagine if this was a PlayStation game and there was voice acting and you'd have to say a whole sentence. That'd be really hard to say, wouldn't it? Yeah. Okay, this is Chuck. I never really got this guy. I assume he's like some sort of Chuck Norris wannabe and he stole his first name, but he's not wearing a plaid shirt, so it doesn't count. He rocks fighting types, I guess. Primate. I think Ash had one of those in the anime, where he had a Mankey, and it evolved, and it was pissed off at him or something. Random fact, Pokemon... Actually, it's not that random, I blatantly just sort of opened the door on it. Pokemon Puzzle Challenge is the second in the Puzzle Pokemon Tetris Attack series. There was one released earlier in 2000, I believe, which is Pokemon Puzzle League for Nintendo 64, which played exactly the same way, but it had anime characters and anime artwork in Pokemon rather than the traditional gold and silver style we've got here. So it had Ash Ketchum as the main character and he was rocking a Pikachu, you know, the usual. Ah, a little bit of backtracking there. The exclamation mark pieces, they're pretty simple. They work just like regular pieces, but they deal a lot more damage when you make a combo out of them. Oh, look at Totodile just laughing away. Gold and Silver had the best starters. I'm just gonna throw that out there. He rocks the ice Pokemon. Well, in this case, he's rocking a Dugong. Yeah. Now, I know there's people out there who are gonna be like, you can't say that Gold and Silver are the best starters, it doesn't have Charizard. Well, guess what? Charizard is a useless Pokemon. I know he looks like a flying dragon or whatnot, but he's a frickin' fire flying type. He dies to Stealth Rock. Sorry that I just have to lay down some truth, but he's just not that manly. In terms of design, you got Chikorita, who's the cutest starter ever, and you know, you get points for cuteness. If girls can get them, why can't Pokemon? You got Totodile, who's pretty wicked. He is a kick-ass crocodile. That's pretty self-explanatory right there. And then you got Cyndaquil, who is, you know, probably the least creative of the starters, but evolves into Typhlosion, who's a strange fire beast that isn't also part fighting type. Unlike every other generation. You damn right I win. You know, I just realized that the trees in the pathway move, the background never does. There's some low budget stuff going on right there. Blackthorn Gym, Claire, arguably one of the sexiest gym leaders around, wearing black tight lycra. Like she's Catwoman without the mask. Which you kind of half sure she is. She rocks Dragon Pokemon. I picked Pikachu here because, for those of you who watched the anime, there was this sweet episode at the end of the Orange Islands where there's a Dragonite who takes out every Pokemon around, and then Pikachu ends up going head to head with this badass Dragonite who could use, I think, 11 different moves, which was specifically done to make it look like way scarier than any other Pokemon. And Pikachu goes up against it and finally wins by grabbing onto the Dragonite's ears and just thundering it over and over again because he's boss like that. Ugh. And we hit him out of the park with a 10. Oh, look how much damage that did. Hesitating, don't know what to do. Nah, I got this. 6. Oh, the opponent Pokemon also heals over time. If you weren't astutely looking at the health bar. Oh, I backed myself into a corner here. Don't worry, I had a sweet exclamation mark which sealed the deal. Nice little charming thing about this game is the remix music. Basically, every track in this game is a remix version from Gold and Silver. As you could hear through the battles before, and it's about to get a bit more awesome because the Elite Four is coming up, and they have remixes. Here's Elite Four Will. Back in the day, I was pretty sure he was gay, and to this day I'm still pretty convinced he is. He's playing with balls. He's got Whoopi Goldberg as his choice of Pokemon, which I don't think any straight man would do. There is just nothing redeeming about this Elite Four member. Another little fact about Jinx. Oh, wait, no, got some pressure on. Nah, I got this. Random fact about Jinx. Jinx was actually nerfed in the anime. Used to be full-on blackface, but basically people called her racist. I don't see why. Black skin, big red lips. Doesn't seem like any sort of person I would know. But, you know, people just like to overreact. And here is Koga, the Poison Master. Koga's pretty much badass. He's a ninja. I don't think I really need to say more than that, but he was a gym leader in the first generation, and he was so badass he got upgraded to the position of Elite Four. And then it sort of makes no sense, because after you beat the Elite Four, you can go back to the Generation 1 region and then versus his daughter, who has higher level Pokemon than him. Koga is rocking a Crobat, who is one of the sweeter Pokemon. Any of you who rocked Pokemon for, I don't know, the first 4 games knew that when you're in a cave you couldn't get away from Zubats and then Golbats. But if you finally caught one out of impatience with them, it evolved into the sweet Crobat. Which I did, because my first and second ever shiny Pokemon was a Golbat I caught in Crystal, I believe. And it took me, I think, another 9 years to catch another shiny Pokemon. Sorry, I don't have any more sweet facts, I'm just getting caught up in the intensity. Oh, shoot. Look at him taking his loss like a boss, sitting down and praying to the Lord Buddha, as I can only naturally assume. Okay, Elite Four Bruno. I think back in the day we would have seen Bruno and been like, yeah, that's a pretty manly man, he's rocking a mullet, and he's shirtless. And now since the movie Bruno came out and we see that he's shirtless and rocking a mullet, we kind of instantly assume he's gay. But, you know, back in 2000, he was, you know, straight as straight can be. He's also rocking Hitmontop, which I'm a real big fan of because it looks wicked and it's like a Beyblade Pokemon. And to get a Hitmontop, you had to have Tyrogue, and then it would have to evolve with equal attack and defense. Basically, the stats had to be the same, which was actually pretty difficult to do. And I believe if attack was higher, then you'd get Hitmon Bruce Lee, and if defense was higher, you would get Hitmon Jackie Chan. Which I guess, I mean, was Jackie Chan ever famous for his punches as much as he was his alcoholic stylings? I don't know. I also figured Bruce Lee for a guy who could both kick and punch, but I'm not going to question Pokemon. I don't know what I was trying to do there. I think I was trying to try for some sweet tricks, but I failed. And that's the takedown. Alright, we're up to the last member of the Elite Four. And for those of you who are Pokemon savvy, you know that we have the champion coming up afterwards, but we don't in this one because I'm playing on normal mode. Elite Four Karen. She's very good. She wants me to challenge her, and she thinks it'll be a good match. You know, you started off being really seductive, and you kind of lost it there. Also, I'm not a fan of white hair on chicks. Kind of reminds me of Grandma, but you know, each to their own. I'm just gonna stick with clear I rock, Catwoman leather. Okay, she's rocking a Murkrow, which is all good for her, but in Generation 4 they released Honchkrow, who was annoying as hell to play against. Not as annoying as the Ice Pokemon, who has completely skipped my mind. Sneasel and Weavile. They introduced Weavile, I believe, in Generation 4, who was a faster, more annoying version. Ooh, look at some tricky pieces there from a tricky Honchkrow. Murkrow. Oh, got myself in a tricky situation here. How will our hero escape this one? Team Rocket's been ballin', yo. Oh, crap. Stressful position here. If I was to lose, basically I would get to play again, but I wouldn't be able to use Pikachu. So if you lose all of your available Pokemon, you get a game over, and you have to start from the beginning. It doesn't mean too much in easy and medium, but when you get over to harder difficulties, you've got more people to play against, and it's obviously a hell of a lot harder. Anyway, that was me absolutely stomping the Elite Four. And she's right, I was nice. And it's Professor Owen basically telling me that I want to get to versus the champion, who is everybody's favourite, Lance. Am I mentally prepared? Are you mentally prepared, audience? Alright, that was Pokemon Puzzle Challenge. Thanks for watching, guys.